Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Mini back. How's everybody going? Today I want to talk to you guys about extra wheels for your models. We have, gentlemen, I've showed you guys already the wheels from Steve Zimmerman. Then we know we have places like Pegasus. You have other companies out there now that are doing some aftermarket wheels. Here's just a few from a company called Draft Wheels. These are 3D printed wheels, and then Draft itself, you can put them up on Shapeways, and some of them he will resin copy himself and then put up on his regular Draft. He has a Draft store that you can order stuff from. He stocks it every Wednesday. He does limited runs of things. Michael Newport from Facebook, he owns the Wheelman Warehouse. He just customized a set of Draft wheels for Dennis Santiago, and he made he thinned out the Draft centers. These Draft wheels are 3 pieces. You have the center, the ring, and then the tire itself. So Michael had machined in aluminum rings for them and fit into the tires and whatnot from Draft, and they just look amazing. They're killer. And with Draft wheels, you can get them in any size. They roughly, he roughly does odd numbers of stuff just to keep them rare. He don't mass produce like 400 of them or nothing, so you get what you get from Draft. And then they're out, and then they're ran out. They all vary in sizes between 20s to these 30s, and he's just released a few sets of 32s and maybe a set of 34s. And then you guys, you know, Aeroshima and Fujimi, they usually have their own little aftermarket wheel sets. But what I want to do today for you guys is, how many kits do we get? Like I said before, how many kits do we get? And it's like, oh, I'm going to give you this kit. Within this kit, it's going to have 3 or 4 different wheel choices. A lot of your Honda tuners are like that, or Rebels, Street Burner series, some of your 3-in-1 kits. A lot of the kits like that come with more than 1 extra set of wheels, but you only get like 1 tire. So what I was going to try to show you guys today is how I do wheels and tires. In front of you here are just some tools that I use. I use super glue, some quick set so it dries instantly. I got a real thin paper saw, and you know, it goes in my Dremel. I got a Dremel barrel, sanding barrel, just some finished sandpaper. You want some tape to get the thickness, you know, some different sizes of tape to get some different thicknesses, and then a hand saw. And these are just some of the tools. These are just some of the tools that I use. And what I like to do is, like this right here is the 2010 Shelby GT, and if you look at it, here's the factory wheel, factory veil wheel with the factory veil tire. I put that in there, and this is what it looks like all the way around. So if I want to slam it to the ground, I get that much. But if you see the back of these wheels, I got one without a tire. The back of the Revell wheel itself is kind of rounded. It's kind of got, it's not a flat, it's not a super flat lip. It's kind of rounded, which some of the old tuner wheels were just a great big, see how it's just a great big flat edge. There's no character to it. But some of the newer ones, the ring itself is thin. So if you take the time to do some trimming work, like get rid of all this, and I'll show you guys all this in a minute, you can make your own. And what I done is took another set and I made a lip, this exact same wheel. I cut the lip off the back of a pair. Then I put the ring on there, and then I dremeled me out a tire, and made the profile that I want my tire to be, and then I could set it up underneath the car, and now I get a much more performance look, its depth. And then for the front I didn't put a lip on the front of this set of wheels. I just put it so that right there I can get a more aggressive look, you know, more of a lower profile look. And you can do this with so many different styles of wheels, and we all end up with extra wheels. Some of the I choose to use these really rubber tires from like Aeroshima, Fujimi, Tamiya kits. You know, they're the real rubber ones. They're solid. They're easier to drill out. I got channels and got pull-out drawers full of them, just so I could do custom mixes like this. This right here would be my staggered rear and my regular front, and these were the same wheels. Where'd it go? It's just this wheel here. I just made different tires for them, and I made the ring for the back. And here's a look at some of the, you know, I cut the rings up, and I make them, when I cut the rings up, they're pretty wide to begin with, and then I trim them down to the length that I want. And I've got all these rings, and most of the time I trim off the back part of the wheel, and then I do my thing. But you know, here's some sets I've made. I made this set. This right here is out of the Revell 63 convertible. I narrowed the front, widened the rear. These right here were a set of Revell Nova rally wheels inside of the Pegasus 2-part spoke wheels that you come with the aluminum sleeve. Chip and Lisa had some of these on sale. I don't know if they still have any, but all I did is popped out the spokes, put my rally wheel in there, and then I got rid of the tire that came on them, and I dremeled them out, and made my own profile there. This right here is another Revell wheel that I cut and made tires for. Some of the street burner sets for that Monte Carlo. The tires are really big on the donk kit, so I trimmed them off, put my own tires on those too. The newer 2010 set of Camaro wheels. The front are flush, but the back I put a little lip on it. Revell Acura wheels. Made lip all the way around on those. Now this right here was an Aeroshima wheel, and it had a bigger, thicker tire, and I took that tire off, took a smaller tire, dremeled it out, made me a lower profile tire, kind of gave it a stretch wall look. A Fujimi wheel that were really wide had a kind of a bigger tire. I narrowed them down and put Revell tuner tires on them. A Mastillo die-cast wheel, and I you know, sanded off all their extra stuff and put my own tire on it. Another set of this right here is this wheel again that I narrowed up for a tuner, and I just painted the inside of the spokes. That one's done. These right here were a prototype wheel from David Zen from Facebook, and then what I did is just, you know, made my own tire for that too. Some of the Uptown Motions kits, they're really big wheels, they have really big tires, but I took my roll rubber tires, dremeled them down, and put them on. Another set that I made my own low profile. Here are the factory BRZ wheels of the build I just did for ScaleWorld.net, and then what I did is I took their tires, dremeled them out, and then shrunk them and made them fit the stock wheel to give it a lower profile look. These right here were factory Hasegawa GTR golf wheel, GT golf wheel or something like that. I can't read the box from where I'm at, but then I just dremeled those out and put those on there to make it low profile. Now these right here are actually another ring that I cut from Revell, made the tire, and then the wheel itself is is a Hasegawa Ford Focus WRC rally wheel that I cut and trimmed and put back up in there. These right here are another ring that I made. The wheel itself is from the Revell Snap Type Audi R8. These wheels here are from the Snap Type 2015 Mustang. You can see how I made them wider to give her a lower profile look. These right here were another set of Aeroshima wheels from a kit. I put Revell tuner tires on them. These right here, dremeled out the tires that came with another set of wheels. The wheels came from 81, but the tires came from Draft for a special line he's doing. I just dremeled them out a little bit more and made them a really flush wheel. And that's about it on the wheels I've already had made. With the tools I showed you and with some wheel ideas, here are some packaged wheels that I had planned on widening and stuff that are just Revell stuff. Either widen them or just putting tires on them. This is an old pair of Hoppin' Hydros wheels. This one is. And then another set of the Mustang wheels. Or I might just cut the Mustang wheels up for the rings. The 2010 Shelby wheel. Some leftover tuner wheels. And then one more set. Then what I'm going to show you to do is actually how to make the tire itself. I have a low profile tire set in here. Here, let me see. If you look, here's the tread that match, and here's how the tire started, and then here it is opened up. Basically all you do to open up the tire is you put your Dremel in here, then you just work it, and then you'll start seeing it cut down, and then you got to do one side, and then you flip it over, you do the other side, and then you just trim out the middle. And then once you do that like that, you've done made your low profile. You can see the sanding grooves on the inside. If it'll focus. Yeah, you see what I'm trying to do. But anyway, you just Dremel it out, you just put it in there, and you just keep working it. And you have to cut off, when you do the wheel itself that you want to keep, you have to trim off all these ledges and edges, and then you get, and you know, you'll get your wheel. And if you do it like this, and then you pull your tire over, no matter what tire you use, you pull your tire over, and then there's your low profile, and then you cut it, and then you kind of work it back together. Elliot, ELP, has showed something like this for the tires already. He likes to put tape down, tape them together, get his width, get the tire to set where he wants it to set, and then he glues it that way. But there's different ways. And then, you know, once you had that wheel that you chose, and now you sanded it down, and then you put a ring on it, now look at the difference just by putting a lip on it. And then, you know, you choose your tape, you decide what kind of width of the lip you want. Now when you go to make your ring yourself, what I usually do is I just take, you know, your regular number 11 blade, then I just trim these edges. I usually just trim these edges all the way down to that ring. And then once I get to that ring, I start off with the ring that wide, and then I put my saw right under that lip and use it for a guide. And then when you walk that all the way around and you saw that all the way around, your ring pops off. Where did that ring go? Well, your ring will pop off and you'll have, you know, your wheel cut just like this. Now, it does take some work, but once you add them all together, your wheel ends or your wheel treatments are endless. Here's the wheels out of my Nissan. I think it's the R32, Nissan R32. And this is just the wheel. And what I done is I took the ring. I'm not going to use these tires just yet, but I took the ring and I slid the ring over the wheel like I wanted it to. And then once you do that, sometimes you'll always have you'll have the back of this wheel will stick out of the tire. So then what you do, you just take a marker, trim around that tire, and then you just cut it off, and then you do, you know, then you sand it and make it all smooth. And then here's the same wheel. Now I just got a lip to it, so when it goes onto the car, you know, it has a more aggressive, will have a little bit more aggressive look. You can do this probably with any wheel back, but you want a wheel that has some character to it on the lip when you fold it over. And if you guys don't want to do it in the plastic for a little bit of money, it might be, you know, that's up to Michael Newport. But if you hit up Michael Newport, he can do the aluminum rings. He's great looking wheels coming out of him. He has some wheel sets already done up. But you know, you can send your own. Say you have a project you want to get done, you know, send it to him, and you know, he'll get it done. He does some special request. I know that, and then you can send them wheels that you like, and you know, he'll do it up for you. So that's Michael Newport, or Wheelman Warehouse on Facebook. I think he's doing the wheels for Hunter's big Pro Streeted build. I think he did that might have been Micro Nitro that did the wheels for Derek Bundridge on his big 1/8 build. But there's some guys out there, some different things out there. You see the mess I have just in doing wheels. Almost 30 sets of wheels total. I got my whole thing of other wheels just setting up there. So, you know, there's a crap ton that you can do. The possibilities are endless, depending upon the direction you wanted to go with. So, that's Mini. I hope that there helps you guys a little bit on what to do, or maybe just show you a little bit of what I've been working on. But, you guys have a good day. This is Mini. Build. Stay positive. Don't let negativity drive you away from what you guys do. You know, it's like beating a dead horse if we keep talking about the same thing over and over. So I'm just going to express that, you know, if you do what you love to do and worry about pleasing yourself, no matter what anybody else says, that's something they got to deal with, or they don't have to watch this, guys. So that's about all for me. This is Mini, and I'm out.